Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is the definition of what happens when purpose refuses to quit. She's a PhD scholar, filmmaker, producer, author, educator, researcher, advocate, and self described polymath omnist who has spent her life connecting ideas, disciplines, and people in ways that create real change. While facing challenges that would have stopped many of them and you and me in our tracks, she kept building, creating, teaching, and leading. Her story is a powerful reminder that you don't need perfect circumstances to make an extraordinary impact, just have to persist. So please help me welcome the remarkable Dr. Josette Pelatan. Welcome, Josette.
Thank you, Angel, for this wonderful introduction. Oh my goodness.
So tell me how everything got started because, oh my God, what an amazing story. Tell me how everything got started, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Angel. Yes, well, my film production, Josette XMP production, was born out of a need and a desire to overcome all of my challenges. I live with a very rare disease that's not yet fully diagnosed in the United States. Infusions are extremely expensive in Mexico. And so I wanted to advocate for those who don't have the luxuries that I have. I have many privileges. One of my many privileges is having an education and the ability to advocate for myself and others. So I'm very involved with different platforms such as disability rights. And I thought that my stories had a lot to bring to the table. One of my movie is called The Prostitute's Daughter, and it traces my journey with identity of not having a mother, living with severe mental health concerns, and also the luxury of being able to hide it to a certain level.
Mm.
Not always, but enough to function in society and to having climbed that educational ladder against all odds. Again, without the financial resources, the emotional and mental stability, and I wanted to address many layers of the complexity of what it means to be human through my story. The second production I'm working on is a documentary called Homeless with a PhD. And so it traces my medical journey that is ongoing. And it is quite unusual because it makes me the first disabled female producer doing her own productions while on food stamps, living with housing insecurity. Again, blessed beyond measure, more purposeful, happier, and healthier than ever, and manifesting magic.
Wow, that is amazing. So, do you mind telling me the disease, if you don't mind?
Absolutely, yeah, no, I am an open book. The disease is called relapsing MOGAD. And so it's a neuroimmunological disease. It attacks the nervous system. When I do relapse, depending where the lesions appear in the spine and or the brain, for me, it has only been the spine as far as I know. I lose balance, cognitive abilities, which is the scariest part because I'm able to advocate for myself when that happens. But I also live with agonizing pain that is neurological and therefore very hard to maintain, to control. My mental health goes hand in hand with that. I have mobility issues, gastrointestinal issues, visual issues. I start losing my eyesight. So it can be devastating. And every episode is more disabling than the next one. So the goal is to maintain recovery in between as long as possible, which I have done beautifully for over 2 years now, as I have prioritized my mindset, my nutrition, my rest, because I just refuse to go back to that. And I want to make sure that I have an impact in between until I get that justice.
Wow. Okay. Filmmaking. How did that come about? That is so intriguing.
Thank you, Angel. It is to me too. I surprise myself every year. It has been an uphill battle since 2022 for me. I graduated with a first orthoethnographic dissertation at my university in El Paso, Texas. And so, what it means, it's tracing my own journey. And with it, I made my medical case happen in Mexico. Of course, I had the luxury of student loans, which many people do not have, to travel and see specialists for expensive exams. So, that orthoethnography this is that orthoethnographic dissertation laid the groundwork for what is now my production because it is becoming the movie. And in my dissertation, I address both the emotional turmoil of my life and trying to put on a mask because I needed to survive, and to having gotten awards and great jobs, but you also see the other Josette, the one with massive nervous breakdown, who has gone through harassment and rape and insecurity of all kinds. To see that balance, that's the same human being holding that camera. Well, not yet physically, but eventually. And yeah, I'm very purposeful because I'm making this out of nothing, one person at a time. My production got officialized in February, and since then I've been in 12 magazines and 13 podcasts, a lot of support from all around the world, not just in the United States.
That's amazing. I'm gonna ask you a question because our audience always loves to know this. How did you get in 12 different magazines and the 13 different podcasts? Did they reach out to you? You reached out to them? How did that all happen?
Okay, so my first podcast was actually in December, so I switched it a little bit. It was with Ryan Penley in Miami, and I reached for the stars. I was aiming at $1 million producers, and even though I didn't get to the producer, I got to a worker of the producer who was like, "Wow, I can't help you get that foot in the door, but what I can do for you, because you are so incredibly daring and amazing at the same time, I have a podcast called My Rock Bottom. Would you like to come and be the first one on the second season?" And so I don't say no to opportunities. I'm ready to challenge myself. My insecurities again pop in. And that's wonderful. That's such a gift. So he welcomed me to his podcast. And after that, many others reached out. So there was Calvin Schwartz from New York, one after the other. And same thing with magazines. And it's been incredible. My momentum is still going, and I am filled with delusional faith.
I love that. That is amazing.
Thank
Delusional
you.
faith. Oh, wow. So that I love that verbiage. It really, like, gives a twist to life, having that faith even though you're sitting there going, "Really? That's happening?" Yeah. Alright. What would you do, and what would you say if you were to write a letter to your younger self?
I would tell her that she is the most magical being in the whole universe and that she is capable of achieving so much, that her uniqueness is not a downfall, but it's a gift, and that I love her, that I genuinely am sorry I haven't loved her enough back in the day, but that she should love herself as soon as she can. Is that a good answer?
That is fabulous. That is amazing. So, what is a decision, a habit, or a strategy that shifted your business?
Mindset all the way. I have to practice positive self talk, visualizing the future that I envision, daring to continue to fail and learn through the process, not seeing it as a failure, but as a lesson. And just, yes, welcoming whatever opportunity comes my way with such a grace, thankfulness.
So, you know, mindset, you're saying mindset and the grace and giving grace. All right. What is it that you believe that most entrepreneurs believe that they need to like stop believing? They need to kick it to the curb.
Yeah, a lot of people think they need to know it all to do it, to get it done. They need to know it all, they need to have their life together. And I am living proof that it is not necessarily the case. You can learn how to build the plane while driving it. It's not ideal, but it is also great in the learning process. You learn so much faster.
I can agree with you in that aspect 100% because I mean, I don't have my act together either. I think I do, but I don't, and nobody does. And that brings up another whole thing. So we look at people sometimes and we put them on a pedestal and think they have their act together. I don't think that's the case. Do you?
No, absolutely not. A lot of people have thought I had my life together while I was living through homelessness on food stamps with no transportation because of how I carried myself.
Mhm.
And I called those the good days where the mask was able to stick. But beneath that, this is why I'm making those productions, that there is such a complexity to each human being that you would only see all of those layers, like 50 Shades of Grey, but emotional version, seeing that person on a screen go through all of it.
Mhm. So, going through all of it and everything, how do you believe in balance in life? And if you do, how do you balance personal, family, friends, everything?
Yes, I think that again, we're going to talk about luxury. The luxury of balance is wonderful if we can. So, some people have to balance having kids. I do not have kids. Having a job, they need a 9 to 5. They are working for the system. But I, because of my health, have had to learn that my balance had to be widely different than anybody else's. Meaning, I need 10 hours of sleep. And while some people are fine with 6 or 7 hours, if I have less than 10, I start flaring up. I
Mm,
cannot function. And so, what is the point? I need to have a nap and I need to meditate. So, yes, finding that balance, absolutely, but it has to be an individual thing. People know what they need. There is not a one book fits all, one box
yeah.
fits all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's not a one box fits all for sure. In every aspect of every part of life. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, you or you work for somebody else. It doesn't matter. Everybody's little boxes are different.
Absolutely, Angel.
Yeah, and you know what? Not having children as an entrepreneur is a 50-50 shot. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, we're 50-50. I have none of my own. I did raise, a 27-year-old from 6 months on, but yeah, I had none of my own as well. So I just so you know, that is pretty 50-50 on that.
Wow, thank you for raising that child, though. I'm
Oh,
sure that the child is very thankful.
oh, yeah, he's excited. He wants to do backflips. So no, I'm just joking. I was the tough cookie on him. All right. So, let's talk about somebody who's they want to do something else in their life. You're the perfect person to answer this question. They want to do something else in their life. They have a full-time job. They have a family. They're committed to those things, but they just know deep down there's something else they have to do. What would be your advice to them?
Oh my goodness, it's such a cliche, but it is my lifeline since 2022. It's follow your heart and don't wait.
Mhm.
Just do it. Do it and be ready to fail, seeing it as a blessing because it means you keep on trying. The true failure is to stop trying. So just follow your heart. I know it's such a big, but I don't have the money to follow my heart. Okay, well then manifest the tools, the people, the mindset, the right information, the learning that you will get along the way.
Oh, wow. You just keep bringing up that mindset, just so you know.
I do. It's very important to me. Sorry, I don't mean to be repetitive, but it is important.
No, no, I believe in that 100%. So when you say mindset, let's get a broader clarity here, if that's okay. Do you mean just always positive thinking? Do you mean affirmations? What do you mean, or do you mean all of it?
I mean all of it. Before 2022, which is when I experienced post traumatic growth, which usually happens to a very small portion of people with severe complex PTSD, I used to be very negative And I saw what that did to my health, mentally, emotionally, physically, to my relationships, and to my relationship with myself. So after that turnaround, I started incorporating absolutely everything that came along for me to recover in all and every way, even though it wasn't realistic at close to 40 or 35. I do affirmation absolutely while looking myself in the mirror and being okay with my lazy eye and loving it back to life. I practice manifestation. So Jose Silva method, mind control, is one of the things I apply, where I see myself having overcome housing insecurity, overcome my health challenges, where I see myself having achieved such a high level of knowledge and productivity that I can now give back to people, where I can come up with ideas that solve people's challenges in life. And this is what I call purpose. So every day, when there is the intrusive thoughts of what makes you think you, being unhoused on food stamp with no family, can make a movie that's close to $1 million out of nothing. That's the logical part of us. But the heart is the purposeful one, who is not looking at the logical. It's looking at what it wants. And so it's ready to fail and eager to learn. And that's where I'm at. I shove down and pat the intrusive thought with love. I understand their place to protect us from disappointment, but I am no longer afraid of the disappointment, which is why the heart is speaking so much louder.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that. I love the fact that your mindset is like a holistic mindset thought pattern from everything head to toe. And thank you for getting that belief system in there. Yeah, this is $1 million project. Do I have $1 million? No, but it's coming and it's going to happen and it's happening. Period. I love that. Mhm. All right. So I think we just talked about what's behind the velvet curtain and get a sneak peek of what's happening for you in the future. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more?
Sure. So my company is primarily to have the Prostitute's Daughter featured film done and the documentary Homeless with a PhD done. But it is also intended to expand to Empowering Minds, which is about mindset. How can I, with my life experience, help people that, like me, have lived with lifelong negativity and rewire completely towards success? Particularly, I would love this program to be focused in the most vulnerable populations that have been left behind, such as the homeless population, people in nursing homes, people in addiction centers that families have given up on. Those are the people that I'm really envisioning helping with Empowering Minds. And I'm also working on a project called Schools for Humanity, very different than the school system we have with grade levels and ages and subject matter being boxed. Because I'm a polymath and I think in different layers all at once, I see that our kids' greatest potential is whenever we mix age groups, learning styles, topics, focused on mindset and on health. So, mindfulness is a big one. If kids were taught to meditate and to practice visualizing saving the world, literally, why not aim for the stars? We are in dire need of this right now, of kids believing that they can create alternatives for the solar panels that are no longer relevant at this point. I'm no, they are relevant. They are relevant, but they can find better solutions to the problems of our time. We have problems with water that we need to address very urgently. But for that, we have to make sure that kids believe that they have the power to change the world.
Wow. That is an amazing type of school. That really is.
I'd
That
like to
really
think
is.
so.
Especially with the thought pattern and the thought process and everything that goes into it. I love that. All right. Now, this is even going to be more fun. We're getting to the fun world. Tell us something unexpected about you that our audience is going to go, "Oh my god, Josette did
Hmm.
what?"
Unexpected about me. I don't know if it's unexpected fully because it's getting out there since it's part of my production, but I am the high school dropout with a PhD. I am the prostitute's daughter trying to teach people how to embrace their identity. And so I don't know if people would be shocked per se, because you probably can tell I'm still a little neurodivergent on camera while trying not to be and regulating my own nervous system as I speak. But yes, you see? It started to be hot all of a sudden. Is it really hot or am I nervous?
Well, I think we're all just a little neurodivergent, so we're good.
Oh, oh, you know what? I did get something. I will be doing my first comedy show in El Paso on July 21st. It's a stand-up, and it's part of I say yes to every opportunity, because the worst that happens is that I look ridiculous, and I welcome it because it's challenging the ego.
Wait, so you're doing okay, that's fun. So you're actually doing a comedy show.
I am in Coco Bar in El Paso, Texas, July 21st. Free entrance.
That is
You're
gonna be
welcome to
fun.
join.
I
You're a little far, but you're welcome to join.
yeah, I think I'm flying somewhere else, but if I wasn't, I would definitely be there to support you. That would be so much fun. So, oh, okay. Let me you just, like, blew me away because there was some oh, I know what else I wanted you to say. How many languages do you speak?
I can speak four, but I make mistakes in all of them, just to be clear. In fact, in my dissertation, I wrote two sentences in French, which is my first language, and I managed to publish it with a massive mistake in French, which I caught 6 months later, which I love because it challenges the ego. We want people to judge us. It's wonderful, but don't do it.
So, okay, English, French, what else?
I speak Spanish. I'm certified in Spanish as well. It's El Paso, so it's not very
El Paso Spanish,
it's to
right?
be expected. The first language is most likely Spanish in El Paso,
It is.
and my fourth language is unusual. It's Japanese.
Really?
Yes, I had a Japanese boyfriend back in the days, and so I'm a driven person. I was going to learn everything, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. All right. If you had a Japanese boyfriend, you had to learn Japanese. Sorry. Okay. All right. Let's pump up the volume with some music. So go ahead and tell me what is your favorite song or songs?
It's "Do It Anyway" by Erica Manson, because she mentions that if you're poor, you do it anyway. So
Mhm.
I'm very rich right here.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, do it anyway. Learn Japanese. Why not? Right?
Yes,
I
yes.
really love that. I really love the fact that you find the extraordinary and go out of the way to achieve it. Mhm.
Thank you, Angel.
All right, books that build you up. What are some of your favorite books?
Books that build me up. Jose Silva, Mind Control, definitely. But I also love The Secret Life of Plants. It's not that built me up, it's just fascinated me. The Secret Life of Plants, that they don't have a heartbeat and they don't have eyes, but they feel things at a distance. It's fascinating. I don't want to tell you about it because we're going to be here for 3 hours and we'll be off topic. But
I
yes.
also but wait, I love the fact that plants heal.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This was one of the first books that I read, and it's very scientific, so I didn't get half of the book at least. But I was so fascinated by many aspects, the medicinal aspect, but
Mhm.
also the fact that whenever you grow plants, the same plants, same soil, same water, same sunlight, but you focus one with love, it grows faster, lives longer, and the other one you kind of just water and that's it, and it doesn't grow as fast, it doesn't live as long. So those are, yeah, I love nature, animals and plants. I'm a big nerd in many ways.
I think we're all a big nerd in many ways as well, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're like growing different types of businesses. And I mean, you are definitely growing multitudes of different types of businesses. And don't you have, you're an author as well, correct?
Yes, I have published quite a few books since, also in a very short period of time, because my eyesight was going away. And so that's kind of my motivator in life. That's God's way of
Oh,
telling me you want to do it now or potentially never. So I wrote many books. I got them published on Amazon. The latest one is called Verde Luma, and it is kind of a utopic ecosystem where we live in at peace with nature, where nature leads.
And what's the name of the book again?
Verde Luma,
All
it's
right, you're
VERDELUMA.
okay. Thank you, because there's no
Sure,
way I was gonna make that come out right. I can tell you that now. So thank you.
that's okay, of course.
All right. Do you have a favorite quote or quotes?
Okay, so this one is again not scientifically accurate, but I love it so much. It's according to the laws of aerodynamics, the bumblebee should not fly because its wings are too small for its body. Yet the bumblebee ignores the laws and flies. And I love it. That's that having that delusional faith, which I have to walk with every single day. I'd rather die failing than giving up on my dreams.
Oh, wow. You know what? I used to wear a bumblebee too because of, women are not supposed to be able to do what we do. And that is just amazing. That is the thing that I would look at that bumblebee and say, "No, I can do it. No matter what I want, I can do it and I can make it happen." Mhm.
I love it. Thank you
Yep.
for sharing.
No, thank you. So tell me about a superpower. If I could give you a superpower for 24 hours, what would you want it to be?
Oh, I wrestled with that question. I used to say flying because I do get vivid dreams where I get to fly. They are lucid, vivid dreams, and I love it so much in my dreams. But nowadays, I don't think I would go for any superpower, which is an interesting shift. I feel that one of my purpose on this earth I've chosen to learn how to explore all of my superpowers. And so if I was to choose one, it would limit me from experiencing the ladder which I need to climb to get there. So yeah, I used to say flying because it's pretty cool and I do that in my dreams.
But
What about you?
I think you need all the superpowers. I would time travel.
Oh, that is a good one.
I'm a time travel movie buff, so I would definitely time travel. Mhm.
That's a good one.
All right. Do you believe in motivation? And if you do, what do you do to get motivated?
Well, motivation is a spark, but the spark doesn't necessarily stay alive. So, yes, I believe it's a thing and I use it as a spark, but you have to be consistent and go further than just motivation. Um, what was the second part of the question? I'm so sorry.
No, if
I
you
interrupted.
believe in it, what do you do to get motivated? And if you
Ah,
don't,
I remember every time I want to give up because things don't feel realistic and that I start falling back into my negative self-taught that, well, I'm just going to get sick. I'm going to end up in the street. No one is going to help me. What's the point? It's unrealistic. I try to talk to my younger self. And so, if I had a daughter, I would like to believe that I would tell her, darling, you can do anything that you want. Do not be fooled by this 3D reality that you see. You can do it. You can do anything that you want. So, to not lose motivation, I talk to my younger self as such. Like, yeah, you can do it. You're gonna show yourself, your older self, what you can achieve. And
mhm,
so we get back up and practice our positive self talk and affirmations, journaling, meditation, breath work, all of it until we're ready to go again.
I love that. So that's how you get motivated when you're a little down. I totally get it. I'm a dance freak. I love to dance.
Oh,
So
that's
there
a
you
good
go.
one too. That's part of my routine. I love to dance too. So it puts you in a good mood,
It
right? And your
does.
energy just spikes up. Absolutely.
It does. All right. What is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
I would say reach out through LinkedIn. I am very open to scheduling a Zoom coffee call with anybody wanting to ask more questions. LinkedIn is definitely the best way.
Awesome. All right. And a mic drop moment. What is it something that you'd want to leave our audience with?
I think we are all one. So once we heal our shadows and our heal from the things we don't necessarily talk about, we have an immense power to succeed and help others succeed in turns. It's just overcoming the illusion of separation and of division the illusion of failure and seeing failure as divine protection or redirection towards something that's better, and walk with delusional faith because it is absolutely worth it for your mental health, emotional health, physical health, and for your purpose.
I love the delusional faith. I really do. All right, Josette, thank you for being here. I loved having you.
Thank you so much for having me, Angel.
Good. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.